We could put together the greatest team ever. If we can't see the good of each other, we've already lost the fight.
Now is our time to strike. We stick together from now on.
That pressure, that responsibility, I want that too. Raising things to the ground is easy. Trying to fix what's broken is hard. There are forces in this world, both mutant and human alike, who believe that a war is coming. Anything happens, I'll take care of it.
Today, I'm giving you Avengers.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Disney held a big presentation for Avengers Doomsday and a bunch of their other upcoming movies overseas, so we'll break it all down. We're going to get more of this trailer from overseas events than we are from Marvel themselves. It's going to be crazy. And CCXP is this week. They'll be releasing all kinds of trailers from a bunch of different people, not just Marvel, but DC for Supergirl, a bunch of other big things, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Game of Thrones stuff. I'll try to do videos for everything. Be sure to subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. My really good lawyer is also telling me that we're supposed to get some sort of official trailer with Avatar 3. Of course, I will do all the videos for that. Hopefully they do wind up actually releasing it. Maybe it'll be another one of these leaks where you just see a whole bunch of footage breaking out on different people's phones from other countries. Totally fine with that too. Whatever footage you want to give us, just give it to us, Marvel. This teaser trailer was mostly focused on revealing who's on what team at the beginning of the movie, also confirming some details about Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. During the presentation, they confirmed that he is Victor Von Doom, Doctor Doom, in the movie. He's not playing an alternate version of Tony Stark, Iron Man, or anything like that. There might be some references to Iron Man during the movie, but he himself is not playing a version of Iron Man, if that wasn't clear. Based on what Matt Shakman and Kevin Feige and the Russos have said so far, he is Victor Von Doom. He's always been Victor Von Doom in an alternate reality. He just happens to look like the 616 Tony Stark when we see him in the movie. And based on some of the comments after the Fantastic Four movie came out and them confirming that this was his version of Doctor Doom in that post-credit scene with Franklin Richards, they make it sound like he is from the Fantastic Four's 828 universe. There are a lot of rumors about his supposed plotline and why he wants revenge against 616 Captain America Steve Rogers for incursions and something happened to his family and the backstory of his character. We will see if that winds up being true. Don't want to speculate too much on that before we actually start getting some big teaser trailers. It's also totally possible that he comes from a completely separate universe that we have not visited before inside the MCU movies. Then the first big team here, Sam Wilson's new Avengers team, is Thor, Loki, which I think is a surprise. People are like, is God Loki going to be on one of the teams? How is he going to help everyone if he's supposed to be managing the entire multiverse? He's the custodian of the multiverse, essentially. But I do love the big character turn here, because obviously he turned good during the events of the Loki series, that version of Loki. But if you remember, that version of Loki was last seen right after the events of the first Avengers movie, where he was trying to kill all the Avengers. Now he is an Avenger.
I assure you, brother, the sun will shine on us again.
Funny how life works out. Shang-Chi is on the team. They kind of confirmed that at the end of the Shang-Chi post-credit scene where Bruce Banner basically told him, welcome to the circus. He's basically welcoming him to the Avengers, essentially. Torres' new version of the Falcon, Ant-Man, and then obviously Sam Wilson's Captain America. Notice they're using the meme picture for him, like he's making the smile in the picture. I feel like Disney just does that every time they need him for something, like we're just going to use the meme picture now. Just addressing some missing MCU characters, because these are all core MCU characters. What about Captain Marvel? What about Chris Evans, Steve Rogers, Captain America, and Peggy Carter? Well, we know that Chris Evans is supposed to be in the movie, but he's not playing his Captain America. It seems like they come from the 1940s, 1950s timeline where he stayed with Peggy Carter at the end of Avengers Endgame, and he's supposed to be playing a version of Nomad. I think that's the moniker he's going by during the movie. But he did used to be Captain America. He is the 616 version of Captain America, just in another timeline during the events of the movie. When it comes to Captain Marvel, my assumption now is that because she's still a relatively big character, if you're talking about the roster, like the deep bench of MCU characters you could put in a movie with a lot of power, maybe she has a very tiny cameo during Avengers Doomsday, but they're probably saving her for Avengers Secret Wars, and that's why she was not part of Chairwatch. Next big missing one, what about the TVA? Because we've already seen them filming scenes inside the TVA. Like, literally, this is them inside the TVA filming a scene. Which characters are coming back? Probably Hunter B-15, Miss Minutes, pretty good chance. We will see if anybody else comes back too. Pretty much anybody from the end of the Loki series is fair game to come back. Then what about Vision and Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch? Two big characters you would normally expect to see show up in an Avengers movie. We know that the Vision Quest series is releasing next year before Avengers Doomsday. It will explain what happened to White Vision, who's like the active version of Vision inside the MCU right now. So presumably by the end of that series, they'll explain why he was not part of Chairwatch. Like he's probably off doing something else. And when it comes to Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch, she is supposed to be in the movies, but they haven't revealed how she's coming back, like how they're explaining the twist. And one of the other big reasons why I think they're holding off on her during Avengers Doomsday, maybe small cameo, but like for the most part, Elizabeth Olsen's version of Scarlet Witch will not be a big character in Avengers Doomsday, not till Secret Wars, is also because of what they're doing with the X-Men characters. There's supposed to be another version of Scarlet Witch with Magneto and his family in a House of M type of scenario on their X-Men planet in that universe.
I think Mom and Dad would have loved it.
It sounds like that version of Scarlet Witch might not be played by Elizabeth Olsen, and that's why they want to wait on actual Elizabeth Olsen Scarlet Witch, like MCU 616 Scarlet Witch, until Secret Wars. Moving through the trailer here, then we have the X-Men, Cyclops, Mystique, Beast, Professor X, Nightcrawler, Magneto, Gambit, obviously a ton of missing characters that we also know are going to be in the movie, and some big hanging plot threads that they have not answered from the end of some other associated movies to explain what happened with everybody in the post-credit scenes. Most people believe that these X-Men are meant to come from the X-Men universe that Monica Rambeau wound up being stuck in at the end of the Marvels movie, and she is nowhere on this presentation here. Like, where is Monica Rambeau if she was stuck in that universe? She has to be in the movie at least a little bit. What about her mother, Maria Rambeau, who is binary of that universe with both of Miss Marvel's bangles in that universe? Like, she's super powerful. Basically their replacement for Captain Marvel, because in the comics, Carol Danvers became a version of binary when they wanted to change the character and she fought with the X-Men. That was meant to be the whole comp that they were going for at the end of the Marvels movie. Like, oh, we're doing the comics. It's just like a later period of Carol Danvers' life when she did go by the binary name and fought with the X-Men on their team. What about Halle Berry's Storm, Famke's Jean Grey? She's talked many times about how she's not in Doomsday. We'll get to that in a second. Anna Paquin's Rogue, Iceman. There are plenty of other X-Men characters from the classic X-Men movies you could wonder about too. We will see. But there's also Deadpool, Wolverine, and X-23 who we know are coming back during the next two Avengers movies. There's also Wesley Snipes' version of Blade from the end of that movie, as well as Mahershala Ali's MCU Blade. We literally just saw a version of him during the Marvel Zombie series, even though it wasn't from the MCU. It was a Moon Knight version of Blade from a completely different universe. But it was meant to be Mahershala Ali's version. My early assumption with pretty much all those characters that I just mentioned that are missing from this official roster is that they'll either be very quick blink and you'll miss it cameos, or they're not in the movie and they're saving them for Secret Wars. But like Deadpool and Wolverine, for instance, are supposed to have a small cameo during Avengers Doomsday, so probably why they did not show up during Chairwatch or during this presentation. Also probably the same thing with Halle Berry's Storm and Famke's Jean Grey, like just too big, too significant of characters to completely leave out from these movies. Then there's the Thunderbolts, who became their own new Avengers team in that funny post-credit scene, or that's what they were going for. It was meant to be more comedic. Yelena Belova, Bucky Barnes, U.S. Agent, John Walker, Sentry, Ghost, and Red Guardian. Their team is pretty self-explanatory, like pretty self-contained until the events of that post-credit scene where they see the Fantastic Four ship. Then the next big team is the Wakandans. Shuri is still Black Panther at the beginning of the movie. M'Baku is still the king of Wakanda at the beginning of the movie. And then obviously Namor is coming back because he's so powerful.
Namor.
They actually had a pretty easy way of explaining him to casual audiences during the Wakanda Forever movie. When he's in water, he's about as powerful as the Hulk at normal levels, not like crazy rage monster Hulk, because Hulk can go way more OP. His power scales up way higher than Namor's. But it just meant to let you know that Namor could go toe-to-toe with the Hulk for a while until the Hulk got mad enough to overpower him. So obviously another group of big missing characters we know are supposed to be in the movie, or movies, multiple. Based on a lot of new information, supposedly Tobey Maguire is actually replacing Tom Holland's MCU in the movie as the resident Spider-Man running around during the events of the movie. Presumably, we will find out why that winds up happening, why Tom Holland's Spider-Man is busy doing other things after the events of Brand New Day. Like, the movie will explain in the post-credit scene where he goes off at the end of that movie and why he's busy during Avengers Doomsday. Now that they're releasing that movie before Avengers Doomsday, there aren't really any big timeline issues that they were going to run into before. My assumption is they had a whole bunch of hoops they were trying to jump through when Avengers Doomsday was coming out before Brand New Day. Now that isn't an issue anymore. There's also Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man, who is also supposed to come back. My assumption here is they're just saving him for Avengers Secret Wars. Pretty simple. Maybe he gets a small cameo scene at the end of Avengers Doomsday, but I'm just planning more on Secret Wars for him. Then what are they doing about Jonathan Majors' Kang character or the Council of Kangs just in general, because there are a number of Kangs still out there. Based on the way that everybody has been talking about this movie, the actors, the producers, it sounds like they're just going to swerve completely on the idea of Kang, or maybe a very small reference. I'd be willing to bet money that the Russos are going to be asked all kinds of questions about this when they're doing press for the movie next year. If you remember at the end of Loki Season 2, the idea is that they had started going after all of He Who Remains variants, which were meant to be the Council of Kangs. So what they might do is just say that the TVA is taking care of the Council of Kangs in the background so that they, like the Avengers characters, all the different teams, don't have to worry about that during the events of Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars.
I got those reports on the variants of He Who Remains.
Most of the focus on the big bad in the shadows orchestrating things, trying to pull the strings, pull everybody's strings, will be Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. So they're pivoting to him. Like that was the big idea when they cast him to come back. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below. And like I said, we're going to be getting a whole bunch of CCXP trailers this week. So I'll try to do videos for everything that does wind up releasing. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that stuff. Everybody click here for all those trailer videos. I'll update the playlist as I post new ones to it, and click here for all my Avengers Doomsday videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.